Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video we're going to continue looking at embedded JavaScript templates, and we're going to look at EJS loops. Now we've already looked at some conditional logic inside of EJS where you embed your if statements, embed your JavaScript if statements, if else, and you'll notice that around the stuff that we do not want to be actually embedded into our HTML has the tags right here, has the scriptlet tags. And then for the things that we do actually want something embedded into our HTML, we use the same tag except we add that equal sign. So anything that we don't want embedded, we don't use the equal sign. Anything we do want embedded, we do use the equal sign. And the cool part about EJS is that you can basically just use regular JavaScript. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new view. Actually, I'm going to use the terminal. So I'm going to cd into week 9. And then I look there and I have the express routing, so I'm going to cd into express routing, and then I'm going to cd into the views directory. And I can see those products and username up here, and then I'm going to make a new file called customers. So touch customers.ejs, I'm sorry. Customers.ejs. I'm going to open that up, and my HTML is going to go here. So just some very, very, very basic HTML. Head. The only thing I need in there is a title. Title will be customers page. After the head, we have to have the body. And inside of the body is just going to be an H1 satisfied customers. And then under there, we're just going to have an unordered list of all of our satisfied customers. So let's make a UL. And basically what it's going to be is we're just going to have LIs of customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, whatever. And all of these LIs are going to come from our, quote, database, unquote. So let's go ahead and just get this page rendering right here to the screen without any of the EJS in it. We're going to put that inside of a customers route. So app.get/customers. And then request response. And now do you understand, hopefully you're understanding now, that I said you didn't have to memorize this whole request response thing because we're going to be doing it so many times that you don't have to do that. So we're just going to do a res.render customers.ejs, and that's all we're doing right now. So let's go ahead and no daemon app.js. Oops, I got a CD up. No daemon app.js. And we're going to navigate to the customers route. And there we go. So we got the page rendering, so we know at least that part's working. Now we need to add some logic to actually make this render with our customers and figure out, okay, customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, whatever. So let's go ahead and make an array of customers. And again, we'll be getting this from the database in the real world, but for now, we're just going to make a constant inside of our JavaScript. Const customers equals. It's going to be an array. It's going to have, we'll just give it some names. Max, Bandit, these are all puppies because this is a puppy food company. Chloe, and Zeus. Those will be our 4 customers, and they're going to be our satisfied customers. And now we need to pass it here into the actual template. And we do that the exact same way, but just passing it as an object, as a JavaScript object. So customers, that's the key. Customers is the value. I'm going to go ahead and show you a shortcut that was added by ES6, and we've already seen this, but I'm going to show it to you in this context. Whenever you have the key and the value of an object of the same name, you don't have to actually do that. You can just pass it once. So you can just pass in customers. So right up here where I did product, the key of product equals the value of product, because product is coming from up here. I can cut that out entirely and just leave it like that. That's just some shorthand. You don't have to do that, but that's just a way to save you some typing. So now I'm passing in customers, and if I look over here on the customers page, nothing's going to change because I haven't actually used it inside of my template. But it's still rendering, it's still working, so we know we haven't broken anything. Now inside of my customers template is where we're going to do the magic, if you will. So what we need to do is we're going to have one UL, so we're not going to loop that. We're not going to do anything with that, but we are going to duplicate this LI. For each customer, we're going to duplicate this. And this is the perfect use case for a loop. We're just going to use a for loop. You could use a forEach loop. So actually, let's just do it both ways. Let's do it first with a for loop, and then we can do it with a forEach loop, just so you can see both of them. So we know from app.js this is being passed in with the property of customers. The name is customers. And again, we could name that anything we wanted, but we just chose customers because it makes sense. So we're going to use our for loop. So we're just going to write a regular JavaScript for loop without worrying about any EJS tags yet, and we'll add those in a second. So for let I equal 0, I is less than customers dot length, I plus plus. So for that, do something. And what we want to do is this li. We want for each one of those, we want an li. Now the syntax highlighting here is making it look a little bit strange because we haven't added our EJS tags yet. This is basically our loop, so let's go ahead and add our tags. Remember, it's the less than and then the percentage sign, because these are control flow, these are scriptlets. We don't actually want any of this inside of our JavaScript. And we're going to do the same thing down here at the bottom. You don't have to put spaces on either side of the tags. I just like to because it makes it easier to read. So let's go ahead and try this. This is not done, but let's try it. Save that, refresh our page, and now we're seeing that it's being repeated 4 times. Perfect, because we have 4 customers. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just not getting their names yet because we're still hard coding customer 1. So inside of the li, our last step is to use that same tag, except we're adding the equal sign because we do want this inside of the HTML, and we just do customer I. Save and refresh, and we're getting an error. Let's see what I did wrong. Customer is not defined. Oh, it's because it's customers. Let's refresh again. There we go. And now we have our actual data coming in. Max, Bandit, Chloe, Zeus, which is the data that we put in here. Or theoretically the data coming from our database. What's super useful about this is that we can do this once, write this page once, and as the data in our database is updated, it will automatically put that new information onto this page without us having to change this at all. So that's how we did it with a for loop. We also have the option, let's go ahead and delete this, of doing it with a forEach loop. So what we would do is do customers.forEach, and then for each customer, we're going to do something. We're going to return an li that has those tags, customer. Add our tags. And let's see if she works. Refresh. Works like a charm. Exactly what we want. That is exactly how we wanted it to be. Let's just, to make sure that we're indeed seeing a new page, let's just do bark. Add the word bark in front, refresh the page, so we know it's still rendering correctly. It's not just a caching thing. So either of those works. You can do the forEach, or you can do the for loop. Either one is perfectly fine. Me personally, I tend to go towards the forEach whenever I'm working with arrays. That just comes from the fact that I have kind of a React mindset as of right now, and React does a lot of stuff with arrays, with forEach, things like that. But that's just my personal preference. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it either way. Now, me personally, I prefer forEach. I think it's more clear, it's more explicit, but that's just my personal preference. You are welcome to use for loops in this situation if you so desire. That is entirely up to you. In this video, we created a loop using either a for loop or a forEach loop inside of EJS. We used the scriptlet tags for the things that we did not want inside of our HTML, and we used the scriptlet tags with the equal sign for the things that we did want inside of our HTML. Now, this is a very simple application of the EJS loop, but you can kind of take this as far as you want because it's just JavaScript. You can do anything that you want with JavaScript inside of EJS, just about. There are a few limitations, but pretty much anything you want to do with JavaScript, you can do inside of EJS. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. Thanks.